Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Living with Kate. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a raw herbal formula from scratch. So that means the most basic ingredients, how they did it thousands and thousands of years ago. This is what I learned in my Chinese medicine practice. This is the medicine that I give to patients, the true medicine from our planet. I'm so excited to show you. Let's get started. So the formula that we're going to make today is called Haizao Yuhutong Sargassum in the Jade Flask Decoction. So this formula is specifically for phlegm and nodules in the body. Me specifically, I have something called a lipoma. A lipoma is a fatty nodule in the body. They're extremely common and it happens from the development of dampness and phlegm. And you can see this happen in a variety of situations or different constitutions. But it's something that causes a lot of disease and disharmony in the body. So this formula has several different ingredients, and some you may know and some may be new to you. The first one is Haizao, so that's sargassum, so it's seaweed. So you can see it's just seaweed in the raw form. Very cool. Making a raw formula really brings me back to the roots and the ancient wisdom of Chinese medicine and how the healing properties that we need are just derived in the earth and the space and environment around us. It's super beautiful when you think about it. The next is going to be Ban Sha. It's Pinelliae terranata. So this herb is really good at helping create dryness in the body. And the next herb is going to be Chen Pi. So Chen Pi is Pericarpium citrae reticulate. So this is a citrus peel. So an orange, tangerine, and peels are really good for the skin and bringing the herbal formula to the surface. The next herb is going to be Lian Chao for Cynthiae fructus. Then you have Xiao Do, Faciliae semen. So you could see it's just like a little seed. The next is going to be Dang Gui. Dang Gui is a female form of ginseng. So it's going to be very tonifying. And when we say tonifying, it's different. It's not astringent. Tonifying helps to build up, to move things around. The next one is going to be Chuangsheng linguistum striatum. So Chuangsheng is one of my favorite herbs in Chinese medicine because it helps move. It helps move through the collaterals. So when you have tension in the body or the affliction where you have stagnation such as phlegm or qi, this is going to be one of the best herbs to help move. The next is going to be Duhuo pubescent angelica root. And Duhuo is really beneficial at bringing herbs up. And the last is Gansao. So Gansao is just licorice root. And Gansao is included in many herbal formulas because of its harmonizing properties. It's got a sweet flavor, but I already warned myself, this is not the best tasting formula, but you know, what medicine is really that tasty, to be honest. And so when making an herbal formula, I like to do it traditional. So I have it in a clay pot. And it's super easy. Obviously, like making tea is easy where we can just put boiling water in a cup and a spoon and stir. This, it's a very meditative practice for me, but again, very easy. So I'm just gonna take all these herbs, dump them in the pot. So we'll fill it all the way to the top. And I like to use clean filtered water, even though boiling gets away any impurities, just for the purpose of, it just makes me feel better to use clean water. So we're gonna boil it on the stove, bring it to a roaring boil, and then simmer for 20 minutes, and then I'll show you what it looks like after. So the tea has been brewing now for 20 minutes. We brought it to a boil and then we just let it simmer on low heat covered. And so we're gonna do the first pour. So the amount that I weighed out is enough for these 2 mason jars, which should last me approximately 10 days. So we'll do the first one and then we'll fill it up with water again and do the process all over. So now we'll simply pour it out, and you see I have a little strainer at the top to catch all those little pieces that we don't want in our tea. Give it a little shake. Any more in there? Okay. So this is going to be for week 1, and you could see all the herbs are still in there. They're still getting broken down. So now we're going to do our second boil. You could probably do at most 3 boils because the herbs retain a lot of properties. So this is going to be the most potent. There's going to be a small variation between the second batch. So now we have our water in. We're ready for our second boil. So it's been about 20 minutes on our second boil. So we're going to strain it out now into our second jar. And there we go. And it's cool because you can even see between the two, the one that's going to be more concentrated than the one that came from the second boil. So you could see the different color in the tones. And like I said, I could use, so hot. I could use and leave the remnants in here and do a third boil, but I think this is enough to last me for the next 10 days. So now that we've made my herbal decoction, let's give it a try. And again, I was warned that it's not going to taste super good, but not terrible. So the Gansau, the licorice, is the harmonizing element, so it gives it a little sweet. Actually, this is not bad at all. This is actually very delicious. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Living Well with Kate. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make an herbal formula. I highly, highly advise you try it yourself. It gives you a wonderful connection to the earth, and it's a very harmonious way to heal your body. Thank you again for joining me. Always remember, when you live better, you live well. I'll see you next time. Cheers.